I'm out here today, gonna do some work on the car, and you notice my house light is on over here. It's noon. This comes on when the light's dim. And wait out this storm, the temperature dropped, at least that's nice, but what's happening is the rain is hitting the hot pavement, and it's gonna cause the humidity to go way up. So even if it drops down to 70 degrees, it's still gonna feel like it's 90 out here, and you're gonna stick to yourself. Well, anyway, I could probably get a little stuff done because the wind's not blowing too hard. But the only trouble is I have to take this stuff and get it out of the garage so that way I have a workspace here. Because my garage is kind of cluttered. I don't really have a whole lot of space here to work. That's the negative side to working out of a one-car garage. Space. Space, space, space. Welcome back again to Duckman Cycles in Volkswagen Garage. Right here behind me is Eleanore. Eleanore, to you new viewers that haven't been here before, this is my 1956 chop top Beetle. I put a ton of work into this thing because it was completely obliterated and destroyed when I got it. And that's the only reason why it's become a custom fully chop top, because it's just was so messed up when I got it that there was just no putting it back to original, so I did the best I could to get the car that I wanted. And I would not have done it with a car that was in better condition. So using junk, I made a beautiful car. But what I've been working on, and I've been trying to work on for the last, I guess it's been third attempt on this particular video, and I've been really sawing away at this thing and working on this thing for a couple days. And it seems like every time I put a couple of hours into it, what happens? It starts raining. The sky just all of a sudden blackens up and it just starts to pour. And unfortunately, I just have not gotten this thing finished, which should have been an afternoon project. Just it's taken a lot longer than that. But this time, instead of waiting for the rain to kill the project, this time I waited for the rain to end before I started working on it. So let's see if that makes any difference. There's been some bad weather coming through here repeatedly for several weeks. It's rained just about every day, I'd say, for almost a month. And it's few and far between that we seem to have any day where we don't get some kind of rain. And if you remember where we left off at, I was sawing away at this part here where the fuel sender goes, which is what shows your fuel level inside the gas tank. I was modifying this area up in here to make it contour with the old top with the new bottom. And it's funny that I'm calling this the newer style tank, because as far as the Volkswagen world's concerned, because it doesn't have the nozzle over here, this is actually considered an early tank. The goal was to put the top onto a regular tank because I needed it to fit inside of this body. And this body has had a different front end grafted onto it, so a standard 56 oval tank doesn't fit in there properly. It's just too small. So my goal was to take the top from the original oval tank, which was the only thing that was in good shape because the bottom was all rotted out, and graft it onto the bottom of this tank, so that way I have the best of both worlds. It's not only a tank that mounts into a later front end that I have on this oval, but it also gives you the appearance with this top that it looks like it originally belonged to a 56 Beetle. So anyway, the inside of it in the last video, I cleaned up the rust on the inside of the top half, and I started sawing away at it and got the two pieces made it together with a little bit of spot welding all the way around. I have to grind off or polish more of this rust off before I consider welding this properly, because if you get rust in your welds, it just makes them cruddy. And cruddy welds tend to be brittle, and you don't want your gas tank being brittle. Probably not a good idea for fuel to be spewing out all over the inside of your car. At least I would think not. So anyway, where we're at here is I'm going to continue cleaning this up and getting these parts to fit. Now this top part is actually overlapping the bottom part. So what I need to do is drill, nice, we got 4th of July fireworks already over here. I need to drill somewhere along here and then cut through both layers. Since these layers are overlapped, if I cut through both of them, I'll have a perfect mate where the two surfaces will be able to butt connect or attach to each other end to end. And once they're mated that way, it should be easy to run welds all the way around the around this tank, and then seal up the inside of it with some tank sealer, because no matter what, I'm going to do that anyway, because there's an awful lot of crud on the top. Even though I removed the rust, and you saw that in the last video, there's still some crud in there, and it's just I don't need that in the tank, and I don't need the possibility of it ever rusting again. So we're going to keep all the moisture out of the inside of the tank. Essentially, the coating is a paint for the inside of the tank. It's non-cosmetic. It's strictly for sealing the surface from any moisture. Typically, the inside of these tanks are just bare metal. You can't put regular paint in it because why? The gas eats the paint. So anyway, we're going to keep on working at this guy here. Don't forget, if you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Please click the subscribe button down there below, and pluck that little dingle belly next to it so you get updates every time that I upload a new video. Now don't forget, I've got other channels. I've also got VV the Duck, VV, and I've also got Skeeter the Duck. Now inside the description of this video, there are always links to my other channels. There's links to my new Facebook group, which has about 80 members on it right now, where people are actually discussing their Volkswagens as well as my projects. So if you'd like to know more, please hit my Facebook group up. I'd love to have you there, and I'm sure the other people that would be there too would love to give you stories or show their projects. So if you have something you'd like to share with me, hit the Facebook group. Links are down there in the description, and any of the products that you see me use in these videos, I'll also have the links down below in the description. So please check them out, subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it very much, and thanks, you guys. I don't know where I want to start today. I was on a real roll the other day, and unfortunately, my mojo got lost. And if you remember where we left off at, I was sawing away at this part here, where the fuel sender goes, which is what shows your fuel level inside the gas tank. I was modifying this area up in here to make it contour with the old top with the new bottom. And it's funny that I'm calling this the newer style tank, because as far as the Volkswagen world's concerned, because it doesn't have the nozzle over here, this is actually considered an early tank. So I ran along here and over here with my body saw, and that does a really good job of cutting between those two layers. So there's a perfect gap now all the way along here. It may be jaggy, but it doesn't matter. They line up perfectly. Put a couple of real crappy looking welds along there, and a couple along here on this side too. That's now got it solid, and the contour that's here, that ski slope shape, is now established. Now I'm going to start running around the side here, and going to hit this long side along here, this seam. This is going to be the big one. This is going to be real slow to cut because it's flimsy. So I'm going to have to weld and cut a couple inches at a time to keep it straight. So anyway, that's where I'm at with this. But she's coming along. Okay, I started cutting from over here because there was actually a place that I could get the blade in. I started running off to the right. And yes, these are some really, really ugly welds. And for some reason it would weld right and then it wouldn't, and I couldn't figure it out. It turned out it was actually a bad ground, so on me. But it was just intermittent. The ground clasp wasn't attached to the tank very well. It was moving around and it kept slipping into an area where it had paint. So of course you're not going to get a good ground. But anyway, that's what was going on there. So I'm going to run over these again, and I'm going to continue going to the right and get that finished up. And after that, I'll just keep filling in between each weld and then in between those welds until finally I get a long bead all the way around this tank. At that point, it's just a matter of grinding, removing the rust, with a wire brush and then some acid, just like I did to the inside of it. Let it sit for a couple days to dry, and then paint it. Well, I think that's it for today. There's a lot of sloppy, spattery welds along here that I need to work on a little more. I'm just working a little too quickly. Just not doing it right. I can do a lot better than that, as I have done before. But that's fine for now. Fact is, it's starting to get a little dark. The clouds are starting to roll in again. The wind is starting to blow. Well, it was anyway. It just stopped. As soon as I hit the record button, everything went still. But I think we got some more rain coming in here again. So anyways, you guys, if you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. Click the little subscribe down there in the bottom. Pluck that little dingle belly. That gives you updates every time I upload a new video. And don't forget about my other channels, VV the Duck VV, as well as Skeeter the Duck. Always down in my video description, as well as my first pinned comment, you'll find a description of some of the additional things that I've used, products that I've used, or other videos or playlists involving this video. So if you want to see the details of how I got to this point, you'll see the details in one of those two places. So please have a look at those things. That's something new that I've been doing and have been doing for a while. Just wanted to make sure that it was obvious to all you guys. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. See you next time. Clouds are doing some interesting boiling nonsense up there. It's kind of rolling in. Over there, they're completely stagnant, but over there to the left, it's moving. So that's interesting. I have to keep an eye on that. If it does turn into a tornado, though, it'll probably go that way. So I don't have much to worry about there. Kind of a weird weather pattern. The storm's been coming straight from the north, which is good in a way because it brings us that cold weather. When I say Florida cold, I'm talking anything less than 90 degrees.